So for her team to say it was a big win for Blake when Justin Baldoni's lawsuit was dismissed, this proves the exact opposite of that. Hi, and welcome to Flawsome Talk. I'm Kersti Flo, and here on my channel, I talk about my good and bad experiences in Hollywood working as an entertainment reporter. And as you know, a lot about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's legal feud. First, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who was listening and or watching my podcast that I released on Friday. It was my third episode, and I did spend some time digging into the enablers in the industry in Hollywood and how some celebrities turn into monsters. As we've seen so many examples of lately, some people cannot deal with the fame. And if they already have narcissistic traits in their personality, will they at some point end up having a narcissistic personality disorder, which is obviously a lot more serious. Anyways, if you haven't checked out that podcast, I'll appreciate it if you did. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check that out. Anyways, the latest in the legal crazy saga is that Blake Lively's team sent a letter to the judge. I feel like they do that every day these days. But anyways, they're asking for a protective order against Blake Lively's communications with Taylor Swift, because Brian Friedman keeps asking for information about Taylor Swift. He wants to see what Blake Lively and Taylor Swift have been talking about. And I do get it. But at the same time, this is a little bit tricky because Brian Friedman already said publicly that he got everything he needed from Taylor Swift. Remember, he dropped the subpoena against Taylor Swift after the information leaked that Blake Lively had been blackmailing her and also asking her to delete all the text messages. After that, Brian Friedman came out in public and said that it's okay, we can drop the subpoena now because we got everything we need. But now he wants the same information, but getting it from Blake. I don't know how the judge is going to respond to this. As we know, he's been very pro Blake. As the way I see it so far, he has allowed her to get mostly what she wants through this whole process so far. So let's see where this ends. They're also, of course, accusing Baldoni's team of only using Taylor Swift to get headlines, to get attention in the press, to get clicks. That's the thing they keep saying the entire time. But the problem is that Blake Lively is the one who brought Taylor Swift into this. It's not Justin Baldoni's team. She's the one bragging that Taylor Swift was with her the entire time, and she was thanking her for being a part of the entire process, everything from finding the right young Lily to the music, to be there as mental support for her. Yeah, so they're basically saying that Baldoni's team has been using Taylor Swift and her fan base in this situation, which I'm sure they kind of have. But at the same time, Taylor Swift might have some interesting information here. And also, remember, they did withdraw that subpoena without prejudice. So they could actually bring that up later if they needed to. And also, I feel like Blake Lively's team now is saying that they're dragging in Taylor Swift for attention in the media while they are dragging in Scooter Braun. Isn't that for attention in the media? He's like so far removed from what has actually happened here. He might have a conversation with Melissa Nathan, which I don't think that they know anything about that. Yeah, I feel that they're just out fishing for information, hoping that they could find anything more than what they have in those cherry-picked text messages that they already leaked to the New York Times. Anyways, I was thinking, I wonder what could be in the communication between Taylor Swift and Blake Lively that makes Blake Lively refuse to show them. Since, as I said before, since she was best friends with Taylor Swift back then, they would have shared probably things that had gone on that set of It Ends With Us, because as Blake Lively was saying the whole time, Taylor Swift was there with her the entire time. You know, she was there to support her. So if she was, probably Blake Lively would have shared some information about how uncomfortable it was on sets. I don't think we can find anything like that in those text messages, and I think that's why Blake Lively doesn't want to show them to the Wayfair parties. Maybe she even said to Taylor that she was planning to sue Baldoni. Maybe she said that she hated him. Maybe she used slurs about him. Maybe she made fun of him. Maybe she even mentioned that she thought he was really hot, that she had a crush on him. I think one thing that we're not going to find in their communication is that Blake Lively was stressed out and was struggling with emotional distress because of SH from Justin Baldoni. I don't think that's in those text messages. If it was, why wouldn't she show it and say, here, I have evidence? She's not doing that. Anyways, people keep talking about Judge Lyman that I also mentioned here on my channel about the conflict of interest there. There's so many things coming up. And also a person that is not directly connected to the case has written a letter asking the judge to withdraw himself from this case. I don't know if that's going to have any weight at all, but someone did actually send me this video that Entertainment Tonight did cover this, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if anyone else has covered it so far, but they did make a video about the potential conflict of interest where they interviewed some lawyer about it.
A new twist in the It Ends With Us legal battle. Turns out the judge who threw out Justin Baldoni's $400 million countersuit has an interesting connection to Blake Lively.
Judges are people too. They have family. Absent anything more, there's no need to either bring it up to the parties, disclose it, or otherwise recuse himself.
Anyways, a lot of people have also been talking about the photo of Blake and Ryan with their baby stroller, with apparently the baby in the stroller or not in the stroller. There's been a lot of speculations if this photo is made with AI. And the reason for that is that a lot of people are saying that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' son, Olin, is about 2.5 years old now. And if he would have been in the stroller, his legs would have been showing underneath because he would be a lot bigger, because he would be a size now that he wouldn't fit all of him in that stroller without something sticking out. Another person is pointing out that their sunglasses, Ryan Reynolds have too many sunglasses, and that the stroller might be too heavy to push, and Blake is holding a coffee cup in the other hand. How is that possible? Why isn't Ryan pushing the stroller when Blake has a coffee? I don't think it's a coffee because she said she doesn't drink coffee, but it's something else in that cup. Also, they're apparently wearing very genetic clothing here, so that looks a little suspicious. Also, something about the brick wall in the background looks fake. Anyways, I don't know about this. And to me, this might have been planted by her team. Who knows? Just to like create some, discussions around it, because it's all about engagement and it's all about giving them more and more attention, no matter what it is. Even if this is fake or if it's not fake, people are talking about it and people are talking about them. And that's exactly what they want. An interesting other observation from Instagram that I saw this week was that Vogue had this party where Blake Lively was present and she was part of this photo shoot. I don't know how many celebrities did this photo shoot, but there are like 7, 8, I don't know, pictures in this carousel. And I noticed, as a lot of other people noticed, that Blake Lively was the first, or the photo with Blake Lively was the first one in the carousel. And people were going bananas on Instagram, like, why did you put her there? We don't like her. We hate her. Why are you doing this, Vogue? I'm not a fan of Vogue anymore. There's 4,500 comments on that photo carousel from Vogue, and mainly everything is negative towards Blake Lively. As far as I could read, I read probably 100 of the first ones, and they're all negative. And I looked at other posts from Vogue on their Instagram, and most of the time they had between like 70 to 200, 300 comments max on their post. This post had 4,500 comments. So, did Vogue do this on purpose? Yes, I think so, because what they want is just engagement. So, even if it's a negative engagement, for them, it's engagement. And for them, it's more clicks. So, they are benefiting a lot from putting out photos of Blake Lively that people comment on because they hate her. So, it seems like they're pretending that they support her. But to be honest, what they're doing is just benefiting from people not liking her. The algorithms of social media, even if it's negative attention, they will lift up and push your post. So I think putting Blake Lively first wasn't to support her. It was actually very calculated for Vogue to get more clicks and to get more engagement on social media. So whether people are angry or surprised that they put Blake Lively there, people are talking. And I think as long as we are giving this attention, magazines and newspaper will continue writing about it. But I think it's not going to be that long before things starts to change a little bit, because people are getting tired of watching Blake Lively pose in new outfits, going to a party or event, or to promote her own products, because we've seen it for so long now. It's not sensational anymore when she walks out. It used to be, because we were like, wow, she's in the middle of this legal feud and she's still going outside. We used to be really surprised. I remember the first time she went on the red carpet for Another Simple Favor in South by Southwest. It was her second, I think, appearance after the SNL thing, and people were up in arms like, oh my God, Blake Lively's out and she's smiling. And everyone was just looking at her, every little thing that she did, every detail of how she behaved or people around her behaved. But I think we are getting to a point where there's a little more fatigue. And the more Blake Lively just shows up and are outside, whatever she's doing, if she's pushing a stroller or just smiling to the paparazzi, people, I think, will start caring less and less. And something I talked about recently is that I think a lot of people watched Another Simple Favor out of curiosity, because they were like, oh, wow, it's Blake Lively. I kind of want to hate watch this, or I'm curious what this is about. It's been so much attention surrounding that film. But if she has a new movie coming out, her next project, I don't think people are going to be interested. And I think that's where Blake Lively is losing out now. Even if she's winning in court over Baldoni in the end of this, she has lost, and she will lose, because as long as people don't want to go and watch her movies or don't want to buy her products, she is the loser. That's what she needs to continue to have success and to continue to have a career in Hollywood. If she doesn't get any work, and if no one wants to buy her products, what's left? Yeah, and regarding this, thank you, Lotta from Sweden, who sent me this. She went on Social Blade to look at how many followers Blake Lively has been losing lately. And you could see the day that Justin Baldoni's case was dismissed, she lost twice as many followers as she has done recently. Every day on average has been like 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 followers that she's been losing. But that day when his lawsuit was dismissed, she lost 14,557 followers, which is twice as much almost as she has done the other days. And then the next day, she lost 18,930 followers. Meaning every time that there's something about her in the press that makes people upset, she loses a lot of followers. And that means every time that something goes in her favor in this lawsuit, she keeps losing followers, meaning she gets less and less popular in the public eye. So what's the point then with winning this lawsuit if you are losing everything in the public eye? So for her team to say it was a big win for Blake when Justin Baldoni's lawsuit was dismissed, this proves the exact opposite of that. Her career is depending on people who want her and her brands. And when they don't want that anymore, it's over. So it will cost Blake Lively a lot more, not only in terms of her career and opportunities, but in money as well, with how much money she is going to lose by continuing in this fight. And I think she's already gone so far now that there's no way back. And I think we will soon see that brands and deals she has with other brands, they will step away from her. They don't want to collaborate with her anymore when they see all the backlash that they're getting. Everyone that's around her or near her gets so much backlash on social media. So who wants to be part of that? So I think bottom line is, at the end of the day now, Blake Lively will be irrelevant. Just like Amber Heard, no one cares about her anymore. If you see that Amber Heard is out walking in a paparazzi shot in Madrid, would you click on that story? Probably not, because you're not interested in her anymore. You're not interested in her life anymore. And I think as soon as this is over, that's what's going to happen to Blake Lively. She's just going to lose all relevance. And that's why no matter what happens in this case, she has already lost. And talking about having fake appearances and not showing who you really are. Thank you, Glenda, for pointing this out to me. So these are two paparazzi shots done by the same paparazzi with 1 year apart.
Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Blake. Thank you.
Following Blake Lively around, I see this paparazzi, the Instagram account that he keeps following her and taking videos of her. I think he's probably the person that they call every time she's going out now because he's always there. And yeah, that's how it works. They are calling him to say, Blake Lively's going to walk outside now. And she walks down the sidewalk like this in her new outfit for the day because she is out almost every day. And then you see the same paparazzi 1 year ago. Does she look very happy and smiling? Not really. So one thing I think we can say for sure is that Blake Lively has learned how to smile in public from this experience. I don't think she's learned anything else than that. And of course, I feel like that is not really who she is. She's just putting on some fake smile to make everyone believe that she's this strong woman and this doesn't affect her at all. And again, that doesn't really help her either. So I don't know why she's walking around smiling all the time in different outfits. It's not helping her. It's just making people really upset with her and dislike her even more. Anyways, that's it from me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And thanks again for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please do and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Flawsome Talk. And I'll see you very soon in my new studio. I think in 1 or 2 days, I will be in another studio. This kind of messy background, I just don't like it that much. And thanks for being patient with me when I'm setting things up here in Spain. I will be here for a few more months before I go back to LA, but I just really wanted to have something nice to look at in the background because I think, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a bit messy, although I do like the little plants, trees, and yeah, whatever. Anyways, have a lovely Sunday, everyone. And yeah, bye.